Welcome to My Jane, My Story, the only show that enables women to share their own secrets and insights to wellness, one story at a time.
Good day, everyone. I'm your host, Hélène Blanchette at My Jane, and welcome to My Jane, My Story. Our mission is to unite and empower women through community education, exploration of cannabis-derived solutions to address our biggest concerns like sleep, pain, stress, intimacy, including lifestyle. There's so much overwhelming information out there, so we decided to come together to change the dialogue and share stories through My Jane, My Story. This is a place to talk about real life experiences so we can help people live better. Every journey is unique, every path is special, and we are grateful to have our guests who come every week and share their unique perspectives with all of us. This is a non-judgmental space where every question is necessary to learn and shift our perspective on this plant. Our special guest today is Tiffany Watkins, aka Lady Canna. Former IT professional, grassroots campaigner, long-term cannabis veteran, and founder of Vanguard Media Online. Vanguard is a media platform and magazine that's dedicated to women in cannabis. And they proudly showcase their effort, innovation, and creativity of all women, whether they're just getting started or if they are veterans in the cannabis community. Vanguard is motivated to tell their stories. But today, Tiffany is here to tell her story. So welcome to My Jane, My Story, Tiffany.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, let me begin with on My Jane, My Story, we're always curious to know how you went from transitioning from the tech industry to the cannabis industry. So what's your My Jane, My Story?
Sure, I'm happy to share. The story actually bridges rather easy for me because I started in tech probably 25, 30 years ago. And during that time was a pivotal time for me in learning and understanding to advocate for the cannabis plant. And we didn't have the luxury of working openly all the time. And we didn't have all the support. So you were able to have your night and day life, right? So during the day, I was a college student working, towards being what I turned out to be, which was a systems engineer. And, in the afternoons, evenings, and any chance I got, I was anywhere someone needed to have medical cannabis. I was trying my best to help. I was gathering signatures and crafting speeches and writing and talking and advocating and helping. And, so when I got into my career, still cannabis wasn't mainstream. We barely had the collective model. So I was able to navigate both worlds easily. And when I retired from tech and decided no more of that for me, still it wasn't quite mainstream enough for you to just take a career in cannabis. But my advocacy was always there. So, moving forward, I went into other careers and started my own businesses. And then when it became time, I said, it's time for, to step right out of that cannabis closet and go, hey, I've been here a long time, like many who have come before me, and we are going to use our voices loudly, but we're going to use them publicly. And we're going to be right in everyone's faces with what we do with cannabis and how much we love and advocate for this wonderful plant.
What do you love so much about that plant? I know, but
Yes.
I want you to tell me what you like so much about that plant. That give you the passion of really, like you said, going at lunchtime and break time and every free time you had to really become an advocate. That means you had a passion for that plant. What did you like so much about that plant?
What I enjoy about the cannabis plant is was the revelation of its hidden benefits. I grew up in a conservative household, and it was always told to me that drugs are bad and cannabis is a drug. Marijuana is a drug. It's a gateway drug. And when I came to find out by meeting people with various different, walks of life, I found out that cannabis wasn't a villain. It was actually healing people. I also, and I was young at the time. I was 18 years old when I was learning. You don't just smoke cannabis. It's not just an edible brownie. There are a lot of different methods of ingestion that are very beneficial to your health and wellness and achieving homeostasis. And, it just piqued my interest. And during that time, we had another pandemic, so to speak. It was the AIDS crisis.
Oh,
And
yes.
it struck the LGBT community in a horrible sense.
Mm.
And I watched friends of mine wasting away, literally, and then being villainized for trying to treat some of the symptoms of the heavy medications that they were on when they were released to go home. Some of which had to go back to the hospital, some released home to die. That the effects of these medications were so detrimental, they tried to heal themselves with natural remedies, and cannabis being one of them, and they were villainized and treated like criminals. And here's someone who can't really advocate for themselves. They're trying to use their voice, they're trying to use their medical freedom, and it's being snatched away. And it just didn't sit well with me.
Well,
And, yeah.
I mean, we had a couple of weeks ago Senator Van who is actually advocating for the new bill of law that's called the Ryan's Law, that will allow hospitals to have cannabis as a final treatment for patient so that they can have quality of life. So I guess it's time to tell you that your hard work and the voices that you claim that people should have actually now is becoming a law. So that's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, and that is the power that each and every one of us has, is the power to use our voice. It is a freedom that cannot be taken away.
And that's
Yeah,
exactly the message that the senator had. If we knew how important our voice is, we would voice it much more often, and we would call our politicians, and there is an impact when we call our politicians. So that's really good. You just mentioned the pandemic, your first pandemic, which obviously was a very catastrophic one. But one of the things, you're one of the only person lately that I asked the question, how are you doing? And how was this whole 14 months of pandemic, and how much did it hurt you? And you, to my surprise, you answered, I'm fine, actually. We're doing good. We're expanding. We're embracing some new technology. And you were all excited about telling me some of the things that you're doing lately. So that was a breath of fresh air. How many different things do you do to be able to feel that you've, breezed through that pandemic?
sure. Being in the cannabis space is the thing I think that helps the most. Declaring cannabis as essential allowed me to continue much of my work. And for Vanguard in particular, it was just like you said, embracing technology, embracing a new way of still reaching people, building audiences, and spreading the message. I think use of Zoom and Skype and Hopin, they just became, everyone was just really all over them and trying to figure out how's this going to work for me. And I think I just took a deep breath and said, well, this is all I have. And so if I'm going to do it, I better just bite the bullet and do it, because just like everyone else, I'll be honest and go, oh my goodness, really an event that's just online? How am I going to navigate this? In the cannabis space, events are, our bread and butter. We really enjoy getting together, sharing thought, idea, product, innovation, whatever. And I just, like I said, took a deep breath and said, this has to be. So how can I make the best of it? And truthfully, I started going to events just to see how they were being, what are people enjoying? What did I enjoy? What did I see that could be better or more of, and things like that. And it was just born to be able to reach people and get your message across and spread your why around.
And remove all the frontiers, the barriers, right? Like before you do an event, it's either you count on people coming from other states to come and see you, or then suddenly it just removed all barriers, and we could be anywhere and people could join us from everywhere, right? And it
It was
became efficient. So I hope there's going to be a good blend
yes.
of both, right? How do you feel about that?
I think that what we're left with as we emerge from this disastrous pandemic, I think we're going to really find that there is value in virtual meeting. And that's the other component to what I feel has been the success of expansion with Vanguard, is the fact that I could reach so many more people rapidly and at a lower cost.
Hmm.
And so that is something that I know for myself and for the heart of Vanguard, that we're not going to ditch the virtual presence, because it's really been able to help spread the message of the movement further, faster, and with more people, and touch more women in the world who need to have a voice in the cannabis space. So when we emerge on the other side of this and it's back to in-person events, I'm definitely going to have a virtual component.
Yes, absolutely. I think it also brings efficiency. And as you just said, you can even spread it beyond United States, right? And help other countries that are just beginning in their journey into the cannabis industry and be able to have a presence. I mean, there's a very positive side to I think the technology. You're absolutely right. So tell me a little bit more about Vanguard. I mean, it's a media platform, but it's much more than that. And how do you help women through that?
Vanguard is, you're 100% correct. It is more than just a media platform. It is a movement. And this movement houses a platform for women, which comes in the form of media presence and representation. It comes in the form of a magazine that people can thumb through or look through digitally. And it comes in an event platform where you share space with other women-owned businesses and, reach people with your products, services, and help to uplift each other.
But how is it different than the other platforms?
You
Like,
know what?
what makes it unique?
I'm not going to say that it's different than anything. If it is unique, it is because it remains in its purest form. Because I don't like let's take the aspect of the magazine. The magazine is ad light. And I don't say it's sans ad because I do have products in there, but the products are all attached to stories, and the stories of the women who create these products, who
Ah.
innovate these products. I do not sell ad space to the magazine because I think that dilutes the message that we are to empower the woman.
So they're sort of advertorial at the same time, right? So you're
They
doing
are in
this.
their own sense because I invite women when they're interviewed to talk about themselves and what they've done, their hardships. And I think it's out there in the ether somewhere that Vanguard tells the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we cover it all from product to if someone has a social equity experience that they want to share. We share the dark side when perhaps someone has been duped and their ideas stolen. We share it all.
Do we have a lot of that in the industry?
We do.
We do. Huh?
Unfortunately, we have a lot of predatory actions in the industry.
Wow. And do you think it's been there since the beginning? And what caused this?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, look, people are not perfect. And when you deal with imperfect beings, there's always going to be something that is going to be a downer. Yes, I do believe it's existed since even when before cannabis was an industry and was just a community. There's always going to be something that's going to sour the punch. But I think it is something that we can definitely overcome. It is something that we hold within our hands to change. And which brings me to the other point of how I feel Vanguard is. That's why I call it a movement. And it's not just a media platform and a magazine, it's a movement because we are attempting to move the needle into the position where we operate with equality, and with trust of each other, and with empowerment.
Who's your audience?
My audience is, well, if we get technical, it is definitely women, professional women, and those getting started, anywhere between the ages of 20 and 55. I say that's where my mass audience is.
But
But
kind of curious.
it's just for, yeah, kind of curious for sure. And I say it's just for anyone because it's a good insight into the women of the space, because it's not just the faces that we see all the time.
Yeah.
There are other women in this community that are doing great things, and we need to shine a light on them and let the mainstream world know and understand what cannabis is about.
Yes, just what like we're doing with you today, shining the light on you because you're a real inspiration. I love your positivity, I love your energy, and I love your optimism, which makes you such a positive warrior. And I really like that about you. And I think it's important because I also think that the fact that you're helping women, being pretty much discovered or uncovered is really noble. And thank you in the name of all the women that are listening, because our audience are very similar. So, what are some of the things that you're doing lately for the women? I think you have a couple of events, awards.
I do. Vanguard will be giving out its first Woman of the Year award. Nominations are open right now. And what we're looking for is that woman who embodies empowerment, is selfless, and is really just trying to make a difference out there in the world of cannabis. And we are super excited about it. I couldn't be more excited to give an award to and a prize package to this deserving woman. And like I said, nominations are open right now and will be open until May 10th, 2021. And voting will commence shortly after.
So what will be the criteria of selection?
It will be, well, number one, woman identifying.
Mm-hmm.
And really working on making a difference in the cannabis community, whether that be through product innovation or through advocacy, mentoring, and things like that. We're looking for that special woman who really empowers others to do more and be more, regardless of what her position is.
That's wonderful. And, is it your first year that you put this together?
This is the very first year that we are doing a Woman of the Year.
Oh, so, wow. And when will it be awarded?
In July.
In July?
Yes.
You have an event in July for that? It's a gathering, a physical gathering?
We don't have a physical gathering. I won't be doing physical gatherings this year. Our first one back in open air with in person will be in 2022. Mm-hmm. But we will proceed with our Dab Day celebration on July 10th this year. And that is going to be an incredible event of information and just fun. Those who enjoy concentrates and oil or just want information can show up. We'll have a lot of different vendors to choose from. We'll have some sessions and we'll have some great speakers. And we'll be announcing our Woman of the Year. Ooh. And we will also be giving away 2 more prize packages. We love giveaways. We love it.
Oh, you mean prize packages, raffles that people will leave with? Or
yes, well, what happens is when you purchase a ticket to the Dab Day celebration, you receive an automatic raffle ticket, which puts you in the running to be chosen to get one of the prizes.
So tell us about the Dab Day. Why is it called the Dab Day? Why is it July 7? And July 10, I mean.
July 10, 7/10. Well, 7/10, when you flip it over upside down, is oil. So it's a great time just to celebrate, concentrates. We celebrate on 420. With smoking a lot of flower or doing things with flower product, and it's just sketchy and nice, and another reason to celebrate cannabis in its form of concentrates. on 710. So we're just
That's
jumping in with
cute.
both
I
feet.
knew about the 420. I didn't know about the 710. What other dates are there? It seems to be numerology here more than cannabis.
And sometimes people throw the two together and celebrate on 11:30.
4:11:30. Also, explain to me that one.
So 420 plus 710 is 1130.
Oh,
So
that is
it's another
so
date you can
funny.
have a good time if you wish. And again, this is all in good fun.
I know, it's fun. It's just so
another reason
cute to learn about these stories. I
another
love
reason
it.
to celebrate and be happy and just and share some time with people, because we, like I said, we can never forget that this industry that we navigate in and have success is built off of a community.
Yes, you're so right. So how do people apply to, can I apply? People apply.
Like I said, nominations are open, and you can go to www.vanguardmediaonline.com and click the link right at the top of the page. It'll take you to where you can nominate that special woman.
That's
And
wonderful. And you have a jury, and who is your jury? What compose your jury?
well, we are using some of the Vanguard team to go through, and the nominations, depending on how many come through, we're pretty flooded right now. I'll be selecting another group of women to kind of weed through those, and then we're going to do open voting. It's back to the community.
Ah, that's
So,
interesting.
yeah.
That's the interesting
If
part.
you're listed on the nominated if you're listed as a nominee, then we're gonna get right out there to your community and let's see what the people have to say.
That's wonderful. And I'm sure you're going to, if you're still open to sponsors, to people that want to participate in this.
Oh yeah, sure. Definitely open to people wanting to be media partners for the 710 event.
Mhm.
And again, at www.vanguardmediaonline.com, just scroll down to the 710 celebration, and there is a link that you can take to fill out the form to be a
That's
media
great.
partner.
Now, you've been helping women. You've been hearing all these stories of women in business in the cannabis industry. What's the message? What are the things that you would like to tell them, and the things that you've learned that they should do better or that could help them?
What I would like, what I do tell women as advice is to use your voice. Don't be quiet. If you have an idea, if you have a passion, craft your why and let the world know what is moving you to do this, and say it loudly. And when you're doing it, make sure you bring along a few other women with you.
Oh, yeah, and women are great collaborators, along the way. I mean, I look at what's going on right now. During the pandemic, many of them have come together. We called each other and said, how can we help each other? Even if we had sometimes competitive products, just to be able to help one another. Now, at My Jane, we have a little tradition now. We made it into a little tradition, and we're asking some questions to get to know you better personally. What are the first thing would be, what is the one thing that you're going to do for your own personal wellness today?
Today?
Today.
I think today I am going to go into my kitchen and I am going to make a fruit salad for my family. It's going to be about nourishment today.
Do you have kids?
I do.
How many?
I have adult ones, but they're college students, and I have to. Here at home.
Wonderful. Second thing is, do you have an inspiring quote or phrase you live by that really motivates you and gets you going when times are rough?
I actually do. And it is, and this is actually one from me that I said years ago. I said, if stigma is the locked door to cannabis, education is the key to throw it open.
Love this one. Very good. Very, very good. Any books or films that you've seen lately or have read lately that you want to recommend to our people?
Sure. I actually would like to recommend, and it's a book that I love and revisit all the time, the Cannabis Health Index by Yue Bleshing. It is an amazing book, and it kind of blends the scientific side of medicine with the wellness side of therapies, and targets over 100 chronic symptoms.
Wow.
And it's all in one like encyclopedia style book, and it's wonderful. Again, it's Cannabis Health Index by Yue Bleshing.
Love it. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Thank you for being with us, being part of the My Jane community, and to have come and share your story with us. It was a pleasure having you. Now, as you know, My Jane supports International Sanctuary, empowering survivors of human trafficking. We actually include a piece of jewelry in our boxes that is handcrafted by survivors of human trafficking. And in 2020, the National Human Trafficking Hotline received more calls from California than any other states in the US, followed by Texas and Florida, respectively. To contact the Human Trafficking Hotline is 1-888-373-7888 or text 233733. You can also visit myjane.com for a wealth of information and obviously our marketplace, or you can find out more on internationalsanctuary.com to understand how they can help survivors. And I remind everybody that you can listen to our podcast. The link will be on My Jane My Story page on our website of myjane.com, directly also from Podbean. And you can follow us on social media at My Jane Social. Thank you, Tiffany, for coming. And that's how we do it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to My Jane, My Story. If you want to learn more, you can join the My Jane community at myjane.com. Get instant access to our Facebook group, Facebook community, educational resources, and updates on My Jane products and special events. And for personal attention right now, you can also pick up the phone and call 833-MY-JANE2. That's MYJANE2. Speak to your own wellness concierge, because it's time to own your wellness. Be well.